All right, guys, can we turn up the volume? I mean, it's been so low, frustrating a lot of you guys out there. So let's talk to Matt Cheslock about what's going on. Hello, Matt.
Oz, how you doing, all right?
Hey, I'm good. How about you?
All good.
Awesome. Well, some of the traders out there aren't so good. They're having a hard time building positions amid light volume, especially with oil. Like, where do you start? So what do you suggest, Matt? What can we do about this?
Well, the month of August historically is a low volume month. You know, it's after earnings season. It's the last month of the summer before everyone goes back to school. So if you're going to take a position now, it's A, hard to do, and B, hard to get out of. And that's the most important part. When it goes against you without big volume days, it's hard to get out of that position without, maybe potentially suffering some bad days if it's going against you.
Yeah, we don't want a bad day, especially in summertime. But you know what? Investors are becoming more bullish. I mean, skew has fallen. Are we getting too ahead of ourselves as trade tensions flare up again?
Yeah, I don't know if we're getting ahead of ourselves. We've seen that we've been able to manage these trade tariffs. We've seen the U.S. have some leverage in this. At least that's how the market is reacting. Earnings were good. I think 74% of the companies that have reported have beaten. These are some strong numbers. The U.S. economy is strong. The 10-year hasn't busted through 3 like we thought. Inflation seems to be somewhat in check. The Fed is on a tightening path that is moderated. All signs are pretty good right now, and it looks like we're going to take out the all-time highs, at least in the very near future here.
Yeah, definitely. S&P is back above their trend line, and the Chinese exported more than expected in July, despite the tariffs.
Well, you kind of expected that. A lot of that was forward buying, so that's not a surprise at all. The fear is that those tariffs would increase and the pressure would mount, so you wouldn't be able to get these products in. So that shouldn't be a surprise, at least. It should have been if you were getting ahead of that curve.
Yeah, we're still buying it up. Speaking about buying and earnings, we have some major retailers reporting next week. What are your expectations?
The retailers are going to be talking about back-to-school shopping, certainly. I mean, that's always been their focus. So if they can forecast some rosy numbers in that regard, and the consumer steps up here and says, you know what, I've got more money in my pocket because the market's doing well, because I've got tax breaks, that may be a good thing, too. But again, are we going to see that buying continue in some of the bigger names that we import from China, the TVs, the washing machines and things like that? Those price increases will eventually affect the consumer down the road.
Yeah, you're midway through summer when you start seeing that school supplies in all the aisles.
Yeah, when you have 3 kids like I do, so they start ratcheting up their buying demands, already. You're already talking about winter, apparel and things like that, and we're still, 90 degrees with humidity out. So, I feel it, but, I think the retailers are going to be focused on that. They've got to get a train behind them, and that might be a way to get it where people are interested in the sector.
All right, Matt. Well, thank you so much for joining me on Thursday, as always, and go watch some golf this week.
All right, thanks.
Why not? Putt-putt.